Well, hello to all my watch-loving friends. Now let's get the boxes out of the way. And today we're going to compare these two beautiful watches. One is a reissue and the other one is a reinterpretation of a great G-Shock classic. Probably the first model with the round face and or round dial. It was the DW-5700? Yes, I think I'm right. The DW-5700, which should be this model here. This one is a more recent version or reissue of that model, and it's the DW-5750, whereas this, as I was saying, is a modern reinterpretation of that model with a lot of more features. It is the GWX-5700CS-1, quite a mouthful for quite a handful of functions. Look at this beauty shine. And we are going to be comparing everything about them, functions, measurements, even the boxes. And so let's start from the boxes. And here they are, as you can see. Of course, the bigger boxes is for the GWX, whereas the smaller box is for the DW. And I will call them simply DW or GWX without all the rest of the numbers. Why such a bigger box for the GWX? Well, because it has a much thicker instruction manual. See the instruction manual? It is much thicker because this particular watch has a lot of functions which I don't think I will describe in great detail. I will give an overview of all the functions, but if you want to refer to a more detailed review of this particular watch, there's always the excellent channel. It's very likely that you already know his channel. So this is the module number, and then we have the same usual paperwork. But of course, since the GWX is an atomic watch, as they say, which means that it receives a signal from an atomic watch, which gives the perfect to the split second time, the most perfect time on earth that you can get. I was saying, since this is an atomic watch, it has a bit of information and instructions regarding that particular feature. Here you have booklets galore, as we can see. Register online and win. I didn't register online because I bought this watch used. And then you have some troubleshooting. Then you have your beautiful label here and the warranty card. So lots of paperwork, which are always the candies on the cake of the collector. And the other box, of course, is a smaller one for a much simpler watch, as we will see. And of course they both have the tin box inside. G-Shock since 1983, and inside there are the instructions, warranty card. This one was bought in 2018, and in fact you will notice that its battery is fainting a bit. Let's put this on the side. Let's have a look at the other inner tin box. It's the very same box. Now you know all the harsh truth about boxes and cardboard boxes. Let's have a look at the watches, and let's have a look at the measurements. Case width on the GWX is 45.1. 45.1. Let's have a look at the other one. Well, it's 44.7, 44.9, so they're very, very similar. Now the lug to lug on these ones are hard to measure. I will measure the other one, and it's 46.7 at this point, and you can see that the strap is naturally rounded, which is one of the features of the G-Shock. You cannot lay them flat on a table. They will always retain this kind of shape, so if they fall this way they won't get much of a shock. Let's have a look at the other watch, and it's 47, once again very similar measurements. Let's have a look at the thickness. The GWX 12.9. What about the DW? Quite thicker, 14.1. Didn't expect this. Let's have a look at the weight, and the DW is 55 grams, whereas the GWX is 55 grams. Yes, both of them quite light. Let's have a look at the back of the watches. Now this is the back of the DW. As you can see, it says stainless steel back, made in China. This is a replica or a reissue of a watch from the mid-80s, maybe 1986, and I have a story from my childhood linked to this particular watch, and I'll make a video about it where I will review this watch in particular. You can see that the digits are kind of fading away because the battery is already more than 5 years old. We could speak about the battery in the 1010 concept, but not now, maybe later. So we have the back of it, and the back of the original ones was a screw down back, whereas this one is held by 4 screws. You can see that the stainless steel plate in the back is quite thick. Hope you can see it. Let's have a look at the back of the other one. So whereas the DW is made in China, this one, the GWX, is made in Thailand, and you can see that the back is quite different. This one gives us the impression of being more premium. It says all the usual things, plus multiband 6, and of course tough solar, which means that this watch has not a battery but a capacitor which can be charged by the light of the sun or any other artificial light. This one is made in Thailand, as you can see, and I think that the backplate is a bit thicker. Let's see them side by side. Might be my opinion, but it looks a bit thicker. The GWX is on top. It looks a bit thicker. Some thoughts about the straps. I always wonder how people who use these watches can describe the difference in, well, plastic or rubber, and there is actually some kind of a difference in the feel of these one. This one feels a bit more supple, the GWX, whereas the DW feels just a tiny bit less soft, if I may put it this way. But they're both very comfortable to wear, so there's really not much of a difference. Let's have a look at the functions of this one, the DW. We have the home screen, of course, with your day of the week, month, day of the month, and the indication here if you choose to have the 24-hour format, plus of course hour, minutes, and seconds. And let's have a look at the other modes. A beeping sound gives us the alarm, and you have just one alarm. There are some particular features for this alarm, such as you have this indication here, which means that the hourly signal is on, so every time an hour passes it will beep. You have the little bell, which tells you that the alarm is on, and then you have both of them. In this case, you have both the hourly signal and the alarm. And then you can set the alarm for a specific date, and it's kind of hard to do this with gloves. See, after you choose the hour or the minute, then you can choose a particular day. So for example, I want January, and then I choose the day in January, and I want my alarm to sound only on the 26th of January. Well, I can do so at midnight. And this is the alarm. After the alarm, you have your countdown timer. And notice the feature that is maybe most dear to me, that when you have a screen which is different from the home screen, you still have your local time visible here. You still have your local time visible here. As you have seen, this is the auto function, which means that when your timer has reached 0, it will beep, and then it will start again going down. This is quite a useful function if you do, I don't know, interval training or something like that. Then after the countdown timer, you have your stopwatch, and once again the local time always visible. This is a very useful function. I've never used a stopwatch for more than 24 hours, so I really don't understand the stopwatches on a Casio, which take up this space to indicate the 24 hours. I find it much more useful to have your local time here. And after this, you have your home screen again. So no dual time, no 5 alarms, nothing, just your home screen, a beeping sound for the alarm, a beeping sound for your timer, a beeping sound for your stopwatch, and now the beeping sound when you go back to your home screen will be different. Once again, can you hear the difference? This is a beautiful watch, in my opinion. It takes me back to my childhood. Let's have a look at its buckle. It's made of metal. It says Casio China. Hope it's focusing. The belt loop holds the extremity of the belt quite well. It does not protrude, as I have been known to say in other videos. So even for people with a small wrist like mine, this is a very reasonable sized watch to wear. Now let's get on to the other one. And this is quite a piece of technology, because as we will see, there are so many interesting features on this one. As you can see from the home screen, we already have lots of more information. We have the RCVD here, which tells me that this watch has received the signal from the atomic watch, which sends the signal every night, late in the night or early in the morning. It is in PS, so power save mode, which means that when there's no light, the screen goes blank, and so it saves power. It has the DST, so daily saving time. It has this symbol here, which indicates that the very cool function of this watch and other Casio watches is switched on, and this means that when there's low light and you turn your wrist by I don't know what angle, maybe 45, whatever, the light of the watch automatically switches on. Then you have these symbols here, and these are the symbols indicating the tide, if it's high tide or low tide. And here you have your moon symbol, so whenever there's a full moon or half moon, this will indicate it. And down here you have your indication of battery charge, and in this case it's medium charge, but if you put it in the sun for, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, it will go to high. And well, let's see what else you got. You have your tide screen, and I don't use this very much, so please refer to more informed channel for this particular function. Next screen, this is the world time screen, and it has a lot of cities that you can choose from. Rome, Berlin, Stockholm, I guess, Athens, Cairo, and so on and so forth. There's really a lot of them. What's more, the alarm screen, which still retains the local time, which is very useful in my opinion. This symbol also tells you that when the alarm beeps, the light of the watch will also be switched on and off intermittently, so which is useful if you're in a dark room and you want to see where your watch is. How many alarms? 2, 3, 4, and the snooze alarm. So 5 alarms all in all. After the alarm, you have your stopwatch with your indication of the local time still and always there. I really think this is a very useful feature. And then your timer, which I don't know if it can auto repeat, and forgive me, but I don't know what this 0 out of 10 means. Maybe that you can repeat this timer 10 times, could be, which is a sort of an upgrade from the timer of the previous model. You go back to the home screen with your user set tied area. I think that this watch is really great, but for some reason I prefer the looks of the DW, maybe because of childhood memories that are dear to my heart. And now let's have a look at the lights of these two watches, shall we? Let's have a look at the DW first. That's the green turquoise, nice glowing light. And then the GWX. To me it looks like the same color light. Let's have them together, side by side. Yeah, it's the same kind of light, only that it lasts a bit more on the GWX. And that was my cat. And let me show you how it fits on the wrist. I will put this one on the DW, and here is how the watch looks on a 6.5 inch or 16.5 centimeter wrist. It's on the big side, being G-Shock, but still doesn't look too big, I think, and it screams 1980s. And that might be the reason why Casio fans love it. Love these watches, they scream 1980s. So, with this said, this has been yet another episode of Wooden, What You Don't Need. You know what to do, click the like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and I'll see you on the next of Wooden, What You Don't Need. Ciao!